Hello everybody and welcome to the C-Bus Paranormal Paracast Episode 9 bonus content video featuring Charles Mill Lake. On Episode 9 we discussed a possible haunting, a credible UFO sighting, and two possible cryptids that have apparently made the area their home over the years. During the episode I referenced a newspaper photo that I found showing two officers inspecting footprints from the supposed Charles Mill Lake monster. I haven't seen this photo posted anywhere previously, and I thought it'd be pretty cool to share it with all of you. As I stated on the episode, the officers believe the tracks look like the footgear that skin divers typically wear. Regardless if this sighting was a monster or an elaborate prank, it certainly made headlines in the area. The second monster we discussed was a Bigfoot-like creature with glowing eyes that the locals called orange eyes. While some individuals believe the monster is real, some skeptics have referred to this monster as merely being a hermit in the woods that was waving around orange bike reflectors. Really? So how did the skeptics come to this conclusion? Well, a few of them likely heard about a fairly hard-to-find newspaper article that emerged on November 19, 1968 from the Norwalk Reflector. The headline pretty much says it all. Orange Eyes Mystery Solved. And it states, "It was a breezy, moonlit night. The youth had taken his girlfriend to Ruggles Bridge on Ruggles Road north of Norwalk. It's a spot young lovers often frequent. In the woods off the bridge they saw a pair of orange eyes staring at them. The romantic mood turned to fear. The young couple may have been the first to see orange eyes, a mystery that's haunted young lovers all summer long. In an abandoned house near the bridge, a note was found on a small stand. On it, a message was scrawled, 'We were here, Orange Eyes, and we will return tonight.' Many reported seeing the strange pair of eyes in the woods about 20 feet from the bridge. A brave young man would take his best girl there so that Orange Eyes might entice her to snuggle. Orange Eyes would usually come out around 11:30 p.m. Sometimes the eyes seemed to grow and shrink, they said. The Huron County Sheriff's Department solved the mystery of Orange Eyes on November 10th while investigating vandalism of the abandoned house, said Deputy John Warner. The story wasn't made public until Monday. A pair of orange reflectors were hung from two small trees near the bridge. On moonlit nights, the light would shine on them, and the reflection made it appear that two eyes were staring out of the woods. Breezes would blow the reflector, making them appear to shrink and grow. Apparently, someone would come back and take the reflectors down, and then put them back to scare another victim. The Sheriff's Department thinks there's some connection between the vandalism and orange eyes. It believes several persons are involved. Sheriff John Borgia said that the whole idea may have started as a prank, but when the vandalism started, he felt the whole idea was no longer a prank. What furniture was left in the house was defaced, and someone had written on the walls. The creator of Orange Eyes is still unknown. Alright, so the plot thickens. I've heard of Ruggles Road being used as source material for the sightings of both monsters. However, if you look up the road in Google Maps, you will see that there are only 3 Ruggles Roads in the entire state. The one in question from this newspaper article takes place nearly an hour away from Charles Mill Lake, and this noted event takes place a few years after the original sightings. So similar to ghost legends, people have been spreading multiple versions of the story and mixing up the facts from fiction, and in this case, even the locations. While the Orange Eyes sightings originated in Charles Mill Lake, the origin of Ruggles Road itself seems to have come from this newspaper article, and it was based off events that actually occurred in Norwalk, Ohio, unrelated to the Charles Mill Lake and its infamous lake monster. Despite some cryptozoologists, researchers, and podcasters trying to lump the two events together, these events actually happened in two different areas. The Charles Mill and Ruggles Road incidents were completely separate from one another. And while I would like to believe this is an open and shut case like the officer says, some things still don't add up. Obviously he thinks that some kids were behind the pranks and the vandalism of the house on Ruggles Road. Were these same kids behind the original Orange Eye sightings? Or was the Norwalk incident merely a copycat or a prank that spawned from the original sightings and stories? It also doesn't explain what the fishermen reported seeing years later in 1991. So while they might have solved the Ruggles Road Orange Eyes mystery, I don't think they solved the mystery of the original source material. I actually drove out the Ruggles Road, and I must admit, it's kinda creepy. It's truly a perfect spot to scare unsuspecting individuals. The road itself has little to no traffic during the day, and for the most part it's a pretty empty road. I'm sure it was even quieter 50 to 60 years ago. So it certainly would have been a great spot a guy could take their girl out for date night with a possible sci-fi flair.